Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel, where Bible stories come alive to help you learn English. Today, we're diving into the remarkable story of Joseph's rise to power in Egypt and the trials he put his brothers through to test their character. Let's get started. Genesis 41:1-32. Our story begins with Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, troubled by strange dreams. In one dream, 7 healthy cows are devoured by 7 gaunt ones. In another, 7 plump ears of grain are swallowed by 7 thin ones. No one could interpret these dreams until Pharaoh's cupbearer remembered Joseph, who was still in prison. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh, and with God's guidance, he interpreted the dreams. The 7 healthy cows and ears of grain represent 7 years of prosperity, followed by 7 years of severe famine. Genesis 41:29-30. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. Genesis 41:33-57. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom, Pharaoh appointed him as the second most powerful man in Egypt, in charge of preparing for the famine. Joseph stored vast amounts of grain during the 7 years of abundance, saving Egypt and surrounding nations during the years of famine. Genesis 42:1-25. The famine also affected Joseph's family in Canaan. His brothers traveled to Egypt to buy grain, not recognizing Joseph. Joseph tested them to see if they had changed. When his brothers came to buy grain, Joseph recognized them, but they did not recognize him. He accused them of being spies, putting their honesty to the test. To prove their innocence, Joseph demanded that they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, to Egypt. He decided to keep Simeon in prison to ensure that the rest of the brothers would return with Benjamin. Genesis 42:24. And he turned himself about from them, and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simeon, and bound him before their eyes. Simeon, willingly or by force, stayed behind in Egypt, held as a guarantee. This action was significant for both Joseph and his brothers, as it tested their loyalty and willingness to protect and return for their brother. Simeon's stay in prison was a crucial part of Joseph's plan to see if his brothers had truly changed. By keeping Simeon, Joseph ensured that his brothers faced the consequences of their actions and gave them a chance to demonstrate their loyalty. The brothers returned home to Canaan with heavy hearts, knowing they had to convince their father, Jacob, to let Benjamin go to Egypt. Genesis 42:36. And to Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. Genesis 43:15-34. When the brothers returned with Benjamin, Joseph tested their loyalty by giving Benjamin more food than the others, observing their reactions. Joseph treated Benjamin with special favor to see if this would stir jealousy, but the brothers showed no sign of resentment. Genesis 43:33-34. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. Genesis 34:1-13. Joseph further tested his brothers by planting his silver cup in Benjamin's sack, then accusing them of theft. When the cup was found in Benjamin's sack, the brothers tore their clothes in grief and returned to the city, fearing for Benjamin's fate. Genesis 34:12-13. And he searched, and began at the eldest, and left at the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they rent their clothes, and laded every man his ass, and returned to the city. Genesis 34:14-34. Judah, speaking for the brothers, pleaded with Joseph, offering himself as a substitute for Benjamin. This selfless act showed Joseph that his brothers had changed. Judah's plea moved Joseph deeply, revealing that his brothers had grown and now valued family above all. Genesis 44:33-34. Now therefore, I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my Lord. And let the lad go up with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me? Lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father. Genesis chapter 45:1-15. Overwhelmed by his brother's repentance, Joseph revealed his identity, bringing the tension to a climax, and then resolving it with forgiveness. Genesis 45:4-5. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life. Joseph's story teaches us about forgiveness, trust in God's plan, and the importance of loyalties. Despite the trials and challenges, Joseph remained faithful and saw God's hand at work in his life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Joseph's incredible story. Now, let's learn some new vocabulary words from today's lesson. Here are 5 vocabulary words from today's story. 1. Accuse, verb, to charge someone with an offense. Joseph accused his brothers of being spies. 2. Resentment, noun, bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. Joseph tested his brothers for signs of resentment. 3. Loyalty, noun, the quality of being loyal to someone or something. Joseph tested his brothers' loyalty. 4. Substitute, noun, a person or thing acting in place of another. Judah offered himself as a substitute for Benjamin. 5. Repentance, noun, the action of repenting, sincere regret or remorse. Joseph's brothers showed true repentance. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories and English lessons. See you next time.